Have you ever walked into a room and immediately noticed that person? Not the loudest one, not the most attractive one, not the one working hardest to be noticed, just someone who feels solid, grounded, like they arrived without needing the room to confirm they should be there. You can't quite name what it is. You just feel it. And when you leave, you find yourself thinking, what do they have that I don't? Today we're answering that question completely. Not with motivation, not with hacks, with the real, unglamorous truth about how confidence actually works, and why almost everyone builds it backwards. Part 1. It starts smaller than you think. Here's the first thing. Confidence doesn't come after success. Most people believe that. They're waiting for the achievement, the promotion, the moment things finally go right. And then they'll feel confident. That's backwards. Confidence comes from evidence. Tiny, private, boring evidence that tells your brain one thing. I can rely on myself. It starts with something almost embarrassingly small. A promise you made and kept. Maybe it's waking up when the alarm goes off instead of bargaining for 10 more minutes. Maybe it's sending the email you've been avoiding. Maybe it's going for the walk you said you'd take. Small things, but your brain files every single one. Think of it as a self-trust credit score. Every kept promise adds a point. Every broken one removes one. Most people trying to feel confident are running a negative balance, proving to themselves quietly, daily, that they can't be relied on. That's why motivation disappears so fast. There's no foundation under it. James Clear describes it as casting votes for the person you want to become. You don't need a perfect record. You just need enough votes that your identity starts to update. And when it does, when that file your brain keeps on you finally changes, everything else changes quietly with it. Part 2. The performance nobody asked for. Here's what most people do when they walk into a room. They start performing. How do I look? Am I saying the right things? Do they like me? Did that land wrong? That mental noise runs constantly and drains every resource you have for actually being present. Confident people aren't calm because they never feel nervous. They're calm because they stopped making every interaction a performance that needed to go well. They walk in. They find a seat. They listen more than they speak. They ask questions that are actually curious. Not questions designed to demonstrate they already know the answer. And here's what's strange. People leave conversations with them feeling genuinely heard, feeling like something real happened. They can't always explain it. What happened was attention. Full, unmanaged attention. No performance underneath it. That's so rare that people mistake it for charisma. It isn't charisma. It's just what you look like when you stop trying to manage how you're perceived and start actually being where you are. The best conversation you've ever had, was that person dominating the room? Probably not. They were just fully there. That's it. That's the whole thing. Part 3. What they do with failure. Everyone fails. Confident people fail regularly, sometimes publicly. The difference isn't the failure, it's what they make it mean. Most people treat a mistake as evidence in an ongoing trial about whether they're fundamentally capable. That trial runs in the background of everything. Every setback feeds it, every criticism updates it, every failure becomes another exhibit. Confident people ended that trial a long time ago. A mistake is information. What went wrong? What can be adjusted? Okay. Moving. No spiral, no performance of self-punishment, no fishing for reassurance. Serena Williams lost matches. Publicly, repeatedly, in front of millions. She didn't let losses write a story about her identity. She treated them as zeta. She adjusted. She came back. That's the shift. When you stop making failure mean something about your worth, it stops having the power to collapse you. You can say, "I got that wrong," without the ground moving under you. That's not a small thing. That's actually most of it. Part 4. What they stopped doing. Everyone asks the same question. What should I do to become more confident? The better question is, what should I stop? Because real confidence is often subtraction, not addition. Confident people stop explaining themselves to people who have already decided what to hear. They stop apologizing for taking up space in conversations where their presence was invited. They stop shrinking around louder, more certain-sounding people because they've learned that certainty and correctness are different things, and loud isn't the same as right. They stop measuring their interior life against other people's visible one. They know too much about what's invisible in someone else's life to be fooled by the surface. And the one that takes the longest? They stop performing. You can feel it when someone is trying too hard. And deep down, they can feel it too. The exhausting maintenance of a version of yourself that doesn't quite fit. The moment confidence starts growing is usually the exact moment someone realizes, the room never needed a performance from me, it just needed me. Part 5. Moving before you feel ready. A lot of people think confident people don't feel fear. They do, constantly. The difference is they stopped treating fear like a stop sign. Every meaningful thing in life feels uncomfortable before it happens. Starting something, saying the honest thing, taking the opportunity, having the difficult conversation. Fear shows up because it matters. Confident people learned to tell the difference between caution, which actually protects you, and avoidance, which delays you while pretending to be caution. Avoidance says, maybe later. I need more time. What if it goes wrong? Fear just says, this matters. And every time you move anyway, not recklessly, just honestly, your brain records a lesson. I can survive discomfort. That lesson, accumulated over time, changes the entire architecture of how you move through the world. You make the call. You take the meeting. You say the thing. Not because you're fearless, because you've learned that waiting to feel fearless is just avoidance with better branding. The real secret, people expect a breakthrough. One moment, one speech, one thing that finally makes it click. It almost never works that way. Confidence is built through accumulation. Slow, boring, invisible. Mornings where you got up anyway. Conversations where you told the truth anyway. Rooms where you stayed present anyway. Failures you walked out of anyway. That's why truly confident people often seem almost ordinary up close. Because confidence isn't a performance skill. It's not something you display. It's the result of a private relationship you built with yourself, quietly, over time, when nobody was watching. Nobody can give it to you. You build it. One ordinary decision at a time. Your 5 takeaways. 1. Build self-trust before anything else. One small promise kept today. That's the vote. 2. Stop managing perception. In your next conversation, just listen. Watch what changes. 3. Separate the mistake from the meaning. Wrong about something? Update and move. That's the whole process. 4. Audit what you're still performing. What are you doing for approval that nobody actually asked for? That's the thing to put down. 5. Stop waiting to feel ready. Confidence comes after action, never before it. The move is to go anyway. Outro. The most important thing about confidence is this. It's built in private. Not during the big moment, not after the achievement, not when the room finally notices you. It's built on ordinary mornings, when nobody is watching, and you still kept your word to yourself. Again, and again, and again. That's where it lives. That's where it has always lived. If this landed for you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today.